All right, hey, it is season 3, episode 1 of the Extreme Fantasy Football Podcast. My name is Todd, and that gentleman over there is Pablo.
We made
What's
it.
up, man?
Season 3. I can't believe it. We really, time is passing, and we are coming up with some really, really cool stuff, and I just can't wait to get to it.
It's amazing. It's just like some awesome news. We just can't hardly wait to even tell you about the awesome news. We'll get to that one quick little second. We always want to thank our sponsors, which, you know what? We need sponsors, and it could be you. If you want to have your name or your business listed and told right here, DM us, contact us at info@extremeff.com, and you could be the sponsor of the official Extreme FF podcast.
Absolutely. And for anybody listening here, make sure that you check out our socials and all of our podcast different locations that you could be listening to it at. The socials are above Todd's head, and that's going to be, they're all right there for the podcast. If you don't recognize those icons, which might be fair, then check us out at the iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Audible, or the Amazon Music, or just Google. Check us out on Podbean. So we're out here, and make sure that you get in touch with us, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.
Most definitely, and we appreciate everybody who's been around for the first 2 years, because this is going to be the biggest and baddest year. So if you're just jumping on, welcome aboard. If you've been around for a while, come on, let's keep going. On today's show, we have some phenomenal news. Our app is live. You have an applause button over there, Pablo?
Oh yeah, I definitely do.
Definitely got an applause button, man. Now, our app is live on both Google and Apple Store, so check that out there. We're going to have a quick recap on the recent FSGA conference that we were there at in Philadelphia.
What does the FSGA stand for there, Dad?
Fantasy Sports and Gaming Association. It's not just football, it's all things fantasy sports. Great bunch of people there, great time. Looking forward to doing that again in Las Vegas this winter. And Matt, tell it, Paul, I've never had a busier July as far as draft. The draft seasons are starting early. I've already finished the Scott Fishbowl draft this year. Plenty of those happening. And the big highlight of today's show, besides our app going live, is we're going to take a deep dive into our Extreme Blitz. We'll tell you all about it, some strategies, some best parts about it, and just go deep into the rules so you will know all about our Extreme Blitz. And then lastly, Paul, one of the things that everybody comes here for, our world famous Pick One segment.
Pick one.
What you think?
Oh, I'm excited about it. I'm excited. I think it's got some good stuff in store for it. And I'm excited to get into season 3, officially kicking it off for the Extreme Fantasy Football official podcast. Look at us.
It's been a long time. And I want to thank you personally. I mean, it's not just you, but we had a group of people, probably 12, 15 people over the past year and a half that have helped us get to this point. But, Paul, that app is live, and it looks just like those two E's.
Exactly.
On the Apple and Google Store.
I know. We will make sure to put that link for the Google Play and the Apple in the description as well when we post this, so anybody who's looking for it can find it there.
Yeah. I mean, there was some goods and some bads along the way, but at the end, we all prevailed, and you know what? It's out there.
Definitely.
I guess you just can't expect something like an app, and our app is not a simple app. Just to go super smoothly, but we started it in March of 2025.
Man,
so we're a year and a half into this, and we get it done.
Yep. Definitely a big commitment, and it's definitely professional. Very, very happy that it's gotten to the point that it's at. It's definitely reassuring with all the effort that we've put into it. Really cool.
Which is cool, because when you go to the next topic here is FSGA, and we were sponsors there. So this is a business to business conference. Of course, everybody's a user, but it's more like if you are in the industry and your business is in the industry of anything to do with fantasy sports, you want to go to FSGA. First of all, it's just the people are amazing, and who you're going to talk to, whether they're other businesses in the area who are startups, have been around for a while, or anybody on the FSGA board. everybody's there to help you. I've got a lot of help. I've helped others. So the community there is great. But you go there and you're putting yourself out there. When we say we have an app, and you got these companies out there, some big name companies who are talking to you and excited about your app, and it better work.
Oh yeah.
And it was received very well.
Definitely. So yeah, the FSGA is really, really cool. You're always meeting a lot of good businesses out there. I know, because he comes back with ideas and he's like, all right, we got to do this and this and this and this. And it's cool. It's definitely seems like really good energy out there. And I highly recommend anybody who especially has business in a little foot in the game to check it out and see what's going on over there.
Yeah, it was kind of cool being in Philadelphia on the week after our July 4th 250th anniversary or birthday for our country, because Philadelphia obviously is where it all started. And we didn't have a lot of time to do the Independence Day and Liberty Bell kind of tourist things. But
sure,
we drove. We drove the 9.5 hours and change to get there.
That'll do it.
We did a stop on the way there to Penn State University. I don't get it. But we weren't there very long. So we had made our way from Ann Arbor all the way into Philadelphia, and Philadelphia is just a really nice town. So it was great.
Love that. Yeah, highly recommend people to check out the FSGA. And I know we're actually going to be over at the Fantasy Football Expo.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're going to be at the Expo here
tomorrow.
Definitely. That's going to be super exciting. That's in Canton, Ohio, and that's going to be nearby the Hall of Fame area.
Yeah, going to be really close. In fact, we're the Friday night sponsor at Centennial Park in downtown Canton, Ohio, and then we'll be a vendor at the Civic Center on Sunday. So if you're going to head out to the Expo, come on by and see us. We'll be wearing something like this kind of thing, or I don't know what for sure, but we'll have fun.
Definitely. So, and we'll have like beer pong that people can play. We're going to have a little board that people can take pictures with.
Price is Right game.
Exchange Price is Right. Good stuff out here. Highly recommend. Yeah. That's a Friday night party at Centennial Park.
We're giving away cash too.
Look at that. A little bit of
Centennial Park.
Get a little booyah.
Booyah. A little bit of booyah cash. So come on out and check us out. Before we get into our blitz, I wanted to say quickly, man, the draft season is alive and hot right now. Just amazing. I've had one already. Joe did one for us, so that was on Tuesday. So we had one on Saturday, had one on Tuesday. I have one tonight. I have one tomorrow, and then we have, of course, all of the other ones that we've done. But man, this July is hopping.
People are biting at the chance to play the game again. You know.
Yeah. Tonight, I'm on the an elimination / chop fantasy football league, where there's 18 teams in the league. The lowest scoring team each week is eliminated, and all the players on that team become free agents. And the other teams have a free agent acquisition bid, the fab money, and you can go ahead and you can bid on players that way. But yeah, you eliminate the players or teams until down to 2. So that's going on tonight.
That's like, I've heard of it as a guillotine league. Is that the same thing?
Yeah. Same kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow is kind of cool. Now, I got to say, I've fortunately done pretty well in our picks when we did our pundit picks in the past year with our overs, unders, wins, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Tomorrow's draft is a futures and prop bet event draft.
Okay.
Where you're picking events, you're picking bets that you want to bet on, and you're given $10,000, fake $10,000, and you have there's 12 picks that you got to do. So at your draft, you choose. Okay, the Lions are 9.5 wins, over or under. So you would pick. I am going to go over, so I'm going to pick 9.5 over Lions wins and put $1,000 on it.
That's pretty cool.
Whatever it is. So you're picking events. My first time ever doing that.
That's really cool. Yeah. I love that sort of idea, actually, especially going for something like, do you get to choose all out of Like, do you get to just randomly choose whatever sort of events that you're looking
There's
for, or are
there's
they
a
like
bunch
preset
listed.
things?
There's rushing yards, touchdowns, passing yards, wins, Super Bowl champions, and there's got the NFL. You got the four major colleges conferences,
Oh,
and
dang.
you also have the Canadian Football League also.
Oh,
So you can
man. Speaking of Canada right now, they have been bringing a lot of smoke our way over here in Michigan. We're in Michigan, close to the Ann Arbor area, or in it, and it is like it's a bonfire
yeah,
out there. I just walked outside this morning and it smelled like a bonfire, and it has
it
just
is.
been smoky all day. So
It is
make
out
sure
there.
you stay
So
inside for the bad air quality.
it's sad, and I don't know what's causing it exactly, but there's not a breeze at all going through here. But it's just lingering. But yeah, you
Hmm.
walk outside and it's just you can feel it.
Definitely.
But anyway, so draft day is upon us, and we're all excited about that. And again, we'll get into drafts right now because let's tackle our extreme blitz. And what the blitz does not have
Hmm.
are drafts.
Exactly. And it is definitely one of those things that people might take a little bit to get used to because it is a little bit different. And I know that the draft is really exciting for a lot of players, but it's also one of those biggest, like, crippling points in your season where you have to make so many choices so far ahead of time that all of a sudden you could just have six injured players that you have to try to replace with the people who are on the waiver, and that's not going to come through very well. Whatever couple trades you can get could help out, but all of a sudden you watch as your like first place chance is just thrown away, you know.
Right.
So in our league, we wanted to make sure that we avoided that, and so we have it where every week you get to set your lineup, and you get to be able to make it every single week, you know. So essentially, you're going to have your running back, your wide receivers. You're going to have a running back one, wide receiver two. You're going to have your quarterback, tight end, kicker, offense, and defense.
Yeah.
Am I missing any? I don't think so.
You got nine spots there. Two running backs, two receivers, tight end, kicker, quarterback, offense, and defense. Now, Paul,
Yeah.
the offense is kind of new, right? Why do we have an offense? Or because most teams don't have an offensive pick out there. We all have defense.
Mm-hmm.
But the offense is unique to blitz. Any idea why or why? Is it good or bad for you or what?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the offense is exciting to pick. Most people know their team's offense, if not the average team's offense. It's kind of hard to track most teams' defenses unless they're particularly good or particularly bad or your local team. So, offense, you can pretty much figure that out pretty easily, and it's good to get excited about. So, it's definitely one of the strong points every single week that you're going to go and put down an offense and have somebody put up some big points. And at that point, you're not punished by having the wrong player on the team or something like that. And it's not quite the same as if that one player does get a whole bunch of good time. Trust me, those are where the points come in
Yeah.
at the biggest points. But when it comes to having reliable picks that, can sometimes backfire for sure. Bad games will happen, but it's definitely really fun picking an offensive team, throwing it down, whether it's a team that you're just excited about that week, whether it's a matchup or whether it's your boys, like that's going to be a good one, and it's fun.
So when I went back in 2018 and I created the Blitz, even just as a hobby for a few of my friends to play, I was going through the potential rules and ideas. I thought, why don't we ever choose offensive teams? Why we all just? I know we got players. I got that. The individual players in defense. I got that. IDP leagues, and I know we have defensive teams you could pick, but nowhere have I ever heard about an offensive team. So I thought, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's try it and see how it goes. And I gotta say, I love it. So you could pick your players on the individual lineups. When it comes to teams, your team is just going to be offense and a defensive team, not the same.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confusing there. You can have this. You can have a team A offense and team B defense. You're not picking the same team for both offense and defense. But it's just one more different thing. And like Paul said, you pick any player, any team that you want, player or team you want, any given week. And our 18 weeks are broken down to 2 9-week halves.
Mm-hmm.
And in essence, you could pick any player you want and use them only one time in those 9 weeks. So in that half, you could pick, you can name your 9 quarterbacks right now. And Allen Jackson. Allen Jackson, there you go. Allen Jackson. You got Dak Prescott, Caleb Williams, Jared Goff.
Yeah, Bo
There's
Nix.
5.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you got a lot of pick quarterbacks there. So you could have your lineup kind of already set, and then in week 10, all that resets. You can use them again. So you're not just watching the same players, whether you like your players or not. You're not watching the same players every week. And of course, if a player is hurt, you just don't pick them. So we've eliminated the long-term injuries in the Blitz.
Yeah, absolutely. The worst that's going to happen in an injury is that one of your players, one of your lineup slots are not going to get points that week, or at least not many points that week.
Right.
And that'll be it. You can just swap them out next time and you'll be all good. Now, one of the things about this, these are like when it comes to the draft there, sorry, I lost my notes here, but when it comes to the 1 use per 9 weeks, it seems like it could be a little bit confusing sometimes when you're trying to plan out your strategy of, how am I going to pick the players that I want to pick and who am I going to pick now? But it actually is a lot more simple to be like Todd said there. You just kind of, your quarterbacks, and if you don't know your tight ends or your kickers, the teams that you care about, and you're like, I'm going to roll with this. Additionally, kickers don't refer to individual players in this league. This is just a little small thing, but they refer to the entire team. So just in case they have, a backup kicker who comes in, gets a couple points, you're getting points for all of the kickers on the Philadelphia Eagles, for example. Right. So
Exactly. Yep.
That's another small thing. But when it comes to picking your running backs, it's pretty easy to say, all right, I'm excited about this matchup this week. I'm gonna pick a running back from that team. Or to be like, all right, well, that's my boy Saquon. I'm gonna pick that one. Or like, all right, Christian McCaffrey, you put up numbers last year. We're gonna see how you do this week. You can absolutely throw these names around, and it's not too hard to fill your lineup.
It's not. But getting back to the other parts about this, one of the rules is as RB1 and RB2 and WR1, WR2. So the RB1s and WR1s, you pick who you want to play there, and they receive a 15% bonus on what they would have earned if they were not RB1. So you're picking your top running back and your top receiver every week.
Yep.
Which is cool. So a little bit different there, not just picking 2 running backs. You have to make a decision. Do I want to have this player as RB1 or this player as RB1? So you got a little decision to make there. But then getting to the championship, which I think is an awesome thing.
Yeah, we have a championship in the Blitz that goes along weeks 19 and 20 of the NFL season.
Exactly. So the winners of weeks, the top 2 teams in most of our leagues, if you have 4 or more people in the league, the top 2 positions in the weeks of 1 through 9 and weeks 10 to 18 get a spot reserved for them in the championship weeks, which, like Paul said, are playing in weeks 19 and 20, which do coincide with the NFL playoffs. So you could actually play 20 weeks, which is a nice little thing. So if you are in the top 9 or top 2 in the first 9, you get your spot reserved in the next time. The season resets in week 10, then weeks 10 to 18 happen. The top 2 go there. If you are or happen to be in both, either you won both or you won one and then second place one time, or you're second place both times, you get bonus points for the championship game. So you get a little bit of an advantage there, kind of like a home field advantage in the real world of stuff. So you can actually, theoretically, this is a cool thing. You could theoretically not play the Blitz in weeks 1 through 9. Just register your team by the end of week 9 and then play in the second half, weeks 10 to 18, be in the top 2, go to the finals and win. There is not another fantasy football format in the world that would allow you to skip half the year and still win. And on ours, you can.
Absolutely. And it's not like those people in the first half of the season, because it feels like those might get punished, but that's not true. It's not wasted at all. That's how they get into the championships as well. So whoever actually performed in the first 9 weeks, they get into the championship. They get their spot early. So, it's definitely an exciting thing there. The championships are one of the most neat features, I think, that we have, that I've always just wanted from standard fantasy to see like, oh man, that's like some of the most exciting parts of the entire season right there, and what fantasy's gone all of a sudden. You know,
Right.
like I just don't have a way to play it. But yeah, super fun to be actually making choices alongside of that. I did that on my first year with it, and very fun stuff to be in the playoffs.
So let's talk about some strategies here. 'Cause people are new to this format, Paul. So let's help them out. Give them some strategies. And there are four that I have, and I can go through a couple of them. You can pick a couple of them.
Sure.
First two that I have called burn early and hold on. And the second one I have is upfront delay and charge ahead. So burn early and hold on is like, yeah, you mentioned McCaffrey and you mentioned who else did you pick? I forgot who.
Saquon. Yep.
Yeah, Saquon. So we all know we're going to use Saquon. We're all going to use McCaffrey. We're all going to use Gibbs and Bijan and all that kind. We all know who we're going to use. It's just a matter of which matchup is the best time to use them. So you could use your superstar studs early. I could start off with week 1, Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson as my RB2. I could do that if I wanted to, and then I could pick McCaffrey and Saquon in week 2, and Derrick Henry and James Cook in week 3. I can go through and burn all my players early and probably do very well in the beginning of the season, as long as those players perform like they normally do. But then when it gets to weeks 6, 7, 8, and 9, I may not have that depth.
Right.
So I'm going to burn my players early and hold on. That's one strategy. And then the opposite that I have here is I'm not going to play my stars yet. I'm going to play people who are kind of like maybe second or third tier, and then hang on to my bigger players towards the end for that charge at the end of the first half. So, or the halves. So burn early or delay are two strategies that I've also used in the past. How about you?
Yeah, I think that two other strategies that I could recommend here for you guys are going to be based off of the matchups that you're mainly looking at. So you have one where it's going to be more consistent, where you're saying, hey, I want to make sure that I'm not using all my players up front, so I'm going to be watching the matchups, looking for the right week to pull the right players out, right? That's definitely a good way to do it, and I think that's a smart player's way, where they're going to have to put a little bit of research in and figure out, all right, let me plan out my season. Where like burn it early, you're having fun, you're just throwing your names out, you're getting right out to it. You know, save means that, you know, you're trying to be tactical early on, and then, you know, you're just going to start firing later on, you know, with all those names that you were holding off on. Consistent is you're watching the matchup, you're trying to figure out when the right weeks are to actually get the most points out of these guys, and you're trying to minimize the lows, whatever that might look like for your team. So when it comes to, I definitely think that's a really good one. And the second one is going to be a more fun one that my dad and I tested around when we first did this a couple seasons ago, or like when I first played it with him. And it's Who's the Beatdown? And essentially, you're going to look for whoever the bad players, whatever the bad teams are, and you're going to say, I'm going to play the players against them, because I know that they're going to be putting up some decent points. And unfortunately, that works. It's not too bad of a strategy. So it's definitely something where, for me, I like playing off those matchups, and that's one of the biggest things about the Blitz format, because you are able to switch your players out. So you want to be aware about where you can find extra points, where it might be good to hold on to that and play somebody who's going to be performing at a similar level, but maybe not quite as high highs, you know? And I think it's a really good format to just kind of mess around with that sort of a thing. So when it comes to consistency, that's what I think my focus is. And then when it comes to, you know, who's the beatdown, it's always good to like know a safe pick. You know, who am I going to want if I don't know what else to do for the kickers? Who's playing against the Titans, you know, and then go for that.
Right. I think we had, sorry, Carolina. I think the Panthers were our Who's the Beatdown.
Yeah, I think they were
several times a couple years ago. And you're right. So, you know, the strategy is like whoever's playing the Panthers, just pick them to go. So that was kind of cool. Anyway, so strategy is there again. Burn it early, save it, be consistent, or who's the beatdown are four strategies that people have used. They've all worked. So it's not like there's a secret sauce.
Right.
They've all worked in the past. You can play your big players now and burn them early, and then they get hurt. So no one else can use them, right? And that's nice. So
exactly. And it's definitely something where with this sort of a format, I do recommend checking out the schedule at least. At least check
Yeah.
out the schedule for saying like, all right, if I'm looking at the Lions, who are the Lions playing against for these 9 weeks? And then you're like, all right, these are the games, these couple games. These are the ones that I'm going to want to pull the trigger on for Jahmyr Gibbs. And although we have the easiest season right now, that so like there will be a lot of times for you to make that pull, but yeah, it's definitely good to know about these things ahead of time because you can find yourself in a situation where you're like, oh man, I threw Gibbs down. You know, he got me like 30 points as a running back one, which was a little bit low, and now all of a sudden you're gonna have to like watch as he puts up 70 points another week for another
Yep.
team that other people are playing him for. So
Yeah.
look at the schedules a little bit, and of course, you know, if you got like those projections or whatever you got in your own head, then you know, weigh these things together and try to figure out like when the best time is to do it, because that is a strategy overall that comes in and can bring you success in this league.
Yeah. Great points there, Paul. 'Cause like I said, a lot of people have the same exact lineup people, and the same 10, 12 quarterbacks will be playing every week, the same 15, 20 running backs every week. So it's just a
Yeah.
matter of when you do it. So our next section here is the best parts of the blitz. And I want to tackle one of those things here. You mentioned the lineups and studying the lineups. The
Yeah.
cool thing about the blitz, first of all, our scoring is extremely simple. For any player,
Mm-hmm.
we only care about yards, touchdowns, and turnovers. Nothing else. I don't care about PPR. I don't care about distance bonuses. I don't care about incompletions. None of that matters to me or to us. It's just total yards, touchdowns, and turnovers. So we have a very easy scoring there. So if you are a novice into this league, which most of you will be a novice into this league, then you're going to think, okay, well, maybe you're in a novice to fantasy football.
Sure.
You're like, I don't want to compete against people who are experts. Well, you know what? You can play this game without a lot of matchup knowledge because you could probably name a good number of superstar studs, or even just a little Google search on ESPN. Who do I start? Who do I sit? Would benefit you. So if you are a
Mm-hmm.
novice, don't be nervous about joining our Blitz League
Mm-hmm.
because you can find the data you want pretty easily now. And also, just so you know, if you do bad, a few weeks of being bad, it's okay because you have a whole another half to do well in. So you can learn how to play. And
Right.
then, but if you are a experienced player and you do know how well Jared Goff plays at Ford Field at home against New Orleans, as opposed to playing on the road against the Chargers, you may have some knowledge there that some of the novices wouldn't have. So you might know, like, I'm going to play Jared Goff in week 5, not in weeks 1 through 4.
Yeah.
So the league, the formats allows you to be a novice as well as an experienced player and do equally as well.
Yeah. And it's not only is it going to be good for novice and experienced players, but it's also free for anyone to join. So if you want to be joining and you want to bring your friends in and all of you are novices, then you can create your own league of just you and the boys. And if you want to be like, hey, I got some diehard veterans for fantasy over here and we want to check out this new format, you can come on by. It's completely free. You can do your own side bets and all that fun stuff. And then, for the app, you get to experience it, check out the formats and see what you like about it. It should be extremely accessible, and we've also got public leagues on there to make it so that if you want to hop in and you don't have a group that you've already got, you can see what's already going on in the public league. Although there are 200 spots available for both of our formats, for our Blitz, which is what we're talking about today, and our Exchange, we'll be talking about next week here. So we've got 200 slots available in the public league, so make sure that you guys get on it if you want to be hopping it and check out to see what it's all about.
So yeah, 200 spots. I'm shocked already because we've only launched it. It's been not even 2 weeks yet, right?
Uh-huh.
And we've launched the site, and we're already at roughly 20 people in our Blitz League already. So we have 180-ish slots left, and that
Right.
sounds like a lot, but we haven't even gone to the Expo yet. We haven't even hardly begun the marketing aspect of it yet. So
Right.
those
Season 3
200,
is starting off today. So,
yeah.
this is
So those 180 spots, and it is like you said, it's free. So it's
right.
really there's the app's download is free. There's not even a paywall anywhere on the app.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not this pay to play crap You just want to
Exactly.
play it, try it, all that kind of stuff. It's definitely the cool thing out there. Paul, you made a comment earlier before we went on air here about playing unlimited number of teams in your league,
Yeah.
in your private league.
Mm-hmm.
What is that for you? Tell me why that's important to you.
So it's so hard to judge a community size, and it's really disappointing when you're playing in like a 12-person league for standard fantasy and you only have 8 players, and you're like, what am I going to do? This is going to totally change the way the draft feels. It's going to change the way the teams are. People aren't going to need to hop to the waiver very often. When they do, there's going to be a lot of great choices available. And if you got 14 friends, all of a sudden you're trying to figure out, like, can you even fit this into your league, or they're just going to have to be people who wait
Right.
for a future spot to open up. And then additionally, like, if you have a big group, if you've got like a coworker, like if you work at a job and you got 20, 30 people there who might be interested in doing this, then you could do that. You could have an entire workforce of individuals who've all got some,
Yep.
competition going on together, and you can see all of that stuff. So it's super cool if you're in a college and you've got some like frat brothers and stuff, or if you're just in a college and you're in some team, like athletic sport team, and you want to bring all your other teammates onto it. It doesn't matter how many people are into it. You can bring as many as you can bring in. It's
Yep.
just supposed to be something to make it accessible as possible. We aren't trying to we're making it free. We want it to be good for everybody of all experiences, and we want to be able to bring as many people into it. We don't want our app to be the limit to your fun. We want you guys to be able to hop into it, check it out, see what it's all about, and tell your friends, and trust that they're going to be able to check it out and know it and see if they like it, and not feel roped in.
Right. That's a great point, Paul, because I've been in leagues where the commissioner wants to have, a 10 or 12 person league, but we only got 8 people committed to playing it.
Yep.
And well, do you create, 2 or 3 or 4 computer teams and they auto pick? And I was like, okay, that's just going to play and suck. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay, now I go to 8 person team, 10 person team, and then everybody's team is stacked because you can only 8 teams, you can get everybody you want.
Yeah, right.
So, okay, that's not going to be really fun. So you go to a 14-team league, which is great, but then everybody's really short on your pick. So it's like, well, now I'm
Yes.
playing some scrub guy I don't want to play. I'm like, that's not going to be much fun.
And
So,
you're stuck with them
um,
all year. Yeah.
so like I said, our private leagues can be as few as 2. Now, Paul, I
Mm-hmm.
could play you.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact, I probably will
We might
have
hit
you.
that.
I will play you. We'll probably do a 1v1. Probably will do that just to have it on the show here and talk about bragging rights on the way.
Right.
So we probably will do a 1v1. So you could have a private league of just 2 people or as many, literally unlimited amount of people as you
Mm-hmm.
want in your team. And
Yeah.
our public league, like I said, has 200 right now. And that could be bigger and probably will be bigger in the upcoming years as we get more people on the site.
Exactly.
Imagine having 1,000-person league. Yeah, that'd
Nope.
be,
I could not imagine. I know things like that exist. Like, I know there are massive leagues out there. You're in the Scott Fishbowl leagues, and
which
that's
is
like,
that's 14 people.
right, that's 14 people, and technically that's a huge pool of players that get split up, right?
Yeah, that's we're 20 players deep. So you're looking at 280 picks.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's 200. Yeah, that's a lot of people. Take away the offensive, take away the defensive line and the offensive line. That's almost everybody who's
I was
important
about to
to
say that's
play.
most of the players that you're gonna.
You're thinking, all right, I got my 8th string running back in round 20. Take a flyer on Tyreek Hill. He's going to sign somebody this season, whatever. Um, but one thing also, like Paul mentioned, I think a minute ago, is when you are playing in your leagues, you play every team in your league every week.
Mm-hmm.
So, if there's only 4 of us in a traditional league and A and B play each other and C and D play each other and A and C win, well, then A and C are 1-0 and B and D are 0-1. But what happens if A would have outscored C? Then A could actually have been 3-0. And in our league, A would have played B, would have played C, would have played D, and won all 3.
Yep.
So in our league, you play every team in your league each and every week, which makes it a little bit more of a parity of just who is the better team or the better picker. I don't want to play you when my stars are on bye week.
Yeah,
And maybe
right.
I didn't study the bye weeks well enough during draft, so I got screwed. And now you get an easy win because I'm on my bye week,
Yeah.
right?
And
So there's none of that here.
I agree. I think that that's one of those things that it's just like a different way to view your performance for me when I'm playing now, because I look at it and I'm like, all right, I'm looking for X amount of points and I'm trying to perform well for myself. I know that if I can reach this threshold, there's a good chance I'm going to get first place. So that's what I'm shooting for.
Right.
And I think
Yep.
that that's what the game starts to turn into. And it's not the same thing as before, where like in a standard league, when you're hopping in, it's like, all right, based on the people that I'm looking at that I have access to, this is my estimated score. That's my opponent's estimated score. Maybe I can mess with that a little bit. Eventually, you get to a point where you can't, and you have to just look at it and say, all right, it's up to the teams now. Let's hope this works out well. And it feels so helpless almost to just like have to make such small choices to actually give you the result that you're really looking for.
Right.
Where in our league you can absolutely get that result. It takes a little bit of thought and it takes a little bit of time if you have already locked yourself out of players that might be good that week or whatever. But for the most part, the way to win is up to you, and it is there. I think that's one of the cool things about this. And for me, one of the best things about Blitz that I grew to love was the lineup selection. I think that is one of the more exciting parts, and it takes a moment for you to be like, by week 2, you might be like, oh, this is weird. All right, okay. I have to pick new players. I wonder who I'm going to pick this week. But by the time you get to like week 5 or week 6, you're looking at it and you're looking to the future now. All of a sudden, you are excited about all the games that have happened in these last couple weeks. You've realized the trends, the players that are starting to do well, the teams that are starting to do well, and you can invest into it. You can literally switch your team around and get those players in your future lineups, assuming you haven't already picked them because they weren't that hot before. And now when these trends start taking off, you can accent on it. You can take the hype of the future of the season and bring it into your future, like your lineups actively. You don't have to just wait and say, well, if I would have known, then I would do it maybe next year. You don't have to worry about that. And I think that's one of the more redeeming factors about this whole, like, pick your lineup every week. And it might take people a second to realize, but it's 100% there. And I definitely think that people should put the time into it to give it that shot.
Well, and that's true. And you mentioned the word time a few times in that time a few times. Interesting. Time a few times in that little sentence you said there. And that's one thing that we truly feel is another advantage to our Blitz is the amount of time it's required. I mean, here we are in middle of July, and I've already spent quite a bit of time researching some of these drafts I'm currently in. I know I'll be doing more of those into August. So how much time do you spend listening to the XM channels, radio shows, and the other podcasts, and on the websites, and perusing all the teams' websites, who's on depth charts, who's injured, and all that?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the Blitz, I can honestly say you don't have to spend a second of time in July, and not even give me half an hour of time in August, right? Maybe not even that. Maybe 15 minutes in August are all you got to spend, because when it gets to that first week on September, I think 8th is the first game. You just go in there and pick your 9 spots, and you're good. And we know the quarterbacks that we want to use right now, barring any major injuries. We could probably pencil in our entire 18-week season with who we want if we wanted to.
Right.
But you don't have to. You just go week by week, and like Paul said, like I said, Paul, you say it's kind of strange picking a whole new team, but then you're like, wow, I'm picking a whole new team. And now I find myself, and I'm not a Chiefs fan. I'm tired of anything to do with Kelsey, right?
Right.
Taylor Swift, and okay, I'm done with that. And it's been known forever on these shows that I'm not a Packer, Cowboy, or Viking fan. Oh, Vikings are better because they have McCarthy as a quarterback. So, okay, but I'm not a Cowboy fan, and I'm not a Packer fan. But you know what? I'm going to use Mahomes. I'm going to use Dak Prescott, and I'm probably going to use Jordan Love at some point in my time this season coming up.
Yep.
We're going to do it. but I'm not stuck with them for 18 weeks. I get them one, maybe 2 weeks.
Exactly.
So I can use them for a little bit. I'm okay with that. I don't want to just keep them. Right.
It's definitely a small thing that takes a moment to get used to, but it is a redeeming part of this game that you start to, like I said, you look to the future. And I've done it where I mapped out 18 weeks of players, or 9, I should say, but I mapped out my 9 weeks for the first 9 for the first half of the season. And within like week 3, I was off script because you get so much more information watching the games and seeing what's happening that it's like, all right, yeah, I could take that player that I had already set up, but actually that player that I was going to play in week 5, he's doing hot right now, and I can probably play him this matchup because that team's doing bad. So all of a sudden, the things that you're valuing start to move around, and your plan will change. And so you could spend a lot of time every single week and try to readjust this plan, but it's not necessary. And I think that you would find that you are spending unnecessary time on it. I don't need to double down on it. Yeah.
There you go. Sure. Anyways, hey, we broke down our Extreme Blitz, about half an hour's worth there online, and there's a lot to go through. So if you have any questions, DM us. Again, our website, our email is info@extremeff.com. You can comment here.
Yeah, leave any comments down below. If you got any DMs over on the social media there at Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or on YouTube, just let us know, shoot us a little something, and we could try to help clarify. Definitely here to help.
Our app looks like that. So Paul, is that a negative space X? People have asked me, why do I have 2 E's? And no, it's a negative space X is what it is. So that's why we created 2 E's.
So we have 2 E's that are faced back to back because it's Extreme Exchange, or not Extreme Exchange. For originally there was an Extreme Exchange thing, and we had always liked this EE setup, and we were like, all right, okay, so then let's see what we could do with that. But we recognize that it's we're trying to make an X here, right? Come on, guys. It looks like an X.
It's kind of like the arrow in FedEx.
The
There's
arrow
an
in FedEx.
Arrow in the FedEx logo.
Now I've got to look at it to see if I'm uneducated.
In negative space.
FedEx. Okay. This does not look like like the word FedEx.
The word FedEx, the logo that FedEx uses, there's an arrow with the bottom of the E in FedEx and the X.
Oh my gosh, you're right. There's an arrow between the E and the X.
Isn't that amazing?
There's one of them. There's an image where it has it black highlighted. Wow, that's wild. Okay.
Yeah. So I got the idea from FedEx, so shout out to FedEx.
Learned something new today.
All right, Paul, let's get to our Pick One segment.
Absolutely. Pick one.
I missed that. I missed it. Oh,
it's so deep that it's therapeutic,
I got to tell you, because of your voice, because a couple of guys who you have met online at FSGA told me that you have the voice of an angel. And so it's a quote. It's a quote from Roland from Top Towel.
The voice of an angel.
So having you go pick one is something that I can't do. So congrats for doing that.
Well, that's fun. That's a good compliment.
So any of us who are new to the Pick One segment, Paul and I will go through some strange topic, usually football oriented.
Yep.
Not always. Sometimes we get to food because we both like food. But we're gonna pick a topic and then pick an answer. So today's topic is, Paul, what NFL team do you feel has the best logo and why?
All right. Now this is one that goes deep here because growing up in the Lions, you got a decent one. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely one of the top half for sure. And there's a lot of bad ones underneath that. Like, the Green Bay Packers G. Like, what is that? That's not even a logo. That's just a letter.
Bears C.
Right. Or So, there are certain logos that definitely don't shine. But for me, my favorite for a long time, especially with their jerseys alongside, they match so well. It's the Atlanta Falcons. I get down with the red and black. And I was actually informed recently that it makes an F. I didn't know, but the Falcon itself makes an F. And I had to look it up, but it actually does. So there you go, a little Atlanta Falcons. For me, the runner-ups there are tough, and I think it would be the Miami Dolphins because I like the colors that they got on it. I'm a big color aesthetic kind of guy. And then the second one, which I already forgot, so it must not have been there. The one that's coming to my head right now is the Vikings.
Okay.
For whatever reason, the Vikings are coming to my head, so I'm gonna say it.
The Vikings got that cool logo. I do like that Viking kind of look. I hate the skull. They always do whenever the touchdown score. I'm like, oh my god, that can go away. But the logo and the colors are pretty cool because it's purple.
Yeah,
it's purple.
I like purple. Yep.
I do like purple. I do agree that the Falcons F is cool because if you don't know it's an F, and I'm probably going to say somebody listen to our show will also realize that's an F. So you're welcome.
Look it up. Yeah.
It is an F, and that's kind of cool, hidden little signal there, which is nice. My team, I'm not picking them because of the colors, although I do love the blue and the yellow or blue and the gold. Because I like the old school, and I like the Rams, and the Rams back in the day, Paul, was a blue helmet with a white ram twirl.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Back in the old
with the horn. Yeah,
and then it turned into the St. Louis Rams, and it was more like a goldish kind of metallic gold kind of thing. And that didn't turn me on as much. But when they go out to LA, and now the LA is there, but it has the ram kind of a swirl that encompasses the letters LA. And the colors, here we are in Ann Arbor. I got like my maize and blue.
Yeah.
So it's very similar to that. So for me, I chose the LA Rams.
That's cool. That's cool. If you had a second runner-up, where would you put it?
Only because of the colors. And I do agree that I probably should go to a 3D as opposed to just a letter. But I like the Bengals stripes. When the Bengals when they were just orange, and I do like orange. When the Bengals were just orange B, it wasn't good. But when they added the stripes, especially if you see the snow Bengal, or they call them exactly, uniforms with the white, that's cool. So I do like that. So I like that alternative jersey there. But so I picked the Rams, and then my second one would be the B with the orange B with the Bengal stripes in Cincinnati.
That's cool. That's cool.
So, all right, get us out of here. I can smell some of this smoke. Outside.
Yeah. Go act like I'm at a bonfire when I take out the trash. All right.
Hey, it was episode 3.1 of the Extreme Fantasy Football Podcast. But my name's Todd, and that gentleman's down there, his name is and always will be Paul. I call him Pablo because he is a Pablo guy. I love it. P-A-B, Paul Allen Bailey. Pablo Richards is the middle name, though, but works for me.
Absolutely. I'm here letting everybody know to check out the social media there above Todd's head. That's going to be at Twitter, X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And then the podcast stuff, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Spotify, or Audible, wherever you might find us. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Very important. And then, as always, we do have our sponsor spot here. So again, if you want to have your business mentioned right here in this spot in our weekly shows, again, let us know, comment, wherever it might be, either here on the podcast or on our social media channels that Paul gave you, or even on email, again, at info@extremeff.com. That is it. And then
don't forget that we've got our podcast, or our new app will be downloadable in the description as well. So we'll be able to have that on Google and Apple.
Definitely. And then, Paul, we always end it as when life gives you a chance, you
make it happen.
Make it happen. All right, guys. Peace. Well, good drafting out there, buddy. Good luck.